got to admit, I'm being dead serious here. All my buddies meet at the Boot on Friday night. I'm talking like sophomore, junior, senior year of high school. They were slamming Long Island iced teas with the fake ID. I was just sort of there trying to hook up with girls or whatever. Anyway, they were there like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'd watch a little Dukes of Hazzard, and then I'd watch Dallas at 9. It was really a lifesaver. I'm just not built for that. Go out at 8, start slamming drinks, and still rolling at 3 a.m. I never was built for that. So Dallas kind of helped me. Instead of hitting the Boot at 8 p.m. like all my friends, I'd roll in like 10:30. And they were just getting going, and I was like just starting, so it worked out perfectly. When they ran out of gas around 12:31, I was out of gas too. I remember getting to LSU Miss Peaches as a New Orleanian, 24-hour city, and the bars shut down at 2. When we all found that out, all my New Orleans friends were just like so bummed, and I was just like, thank God. Jeez and Pete. You end up going to like an after party at someone's house or condo a lot of the time anyway. Oh, the old college days at Louisiana State University and Agricultural and Mechanical College. Baton Rouge. Corey Johnson with you. Summer is definitely here. It's hot out there. 90 degrees, feels like 97 on this Tuesday afternoon in early June. Hey, by the way, sort of last chance to dance. Our Humane fundraiser is pretty much wrapped up. If you go to humanela.org, my little photo up in the upper left-hand corner, donate here, is still there for the next 24, 36 hours or so. So you stragglers can pop it for 10 or 20 bucks. Or you can be like, no, dude, it's June and, it's over and I don't have to donate. You can justify it and not donate. Or you can do like Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park and pop it for $300 like he did a few minutes ago. I'm like, wow, unbelievable. That's so nice. So nice. HumaneLA.org. HumaneLA.org. Let's wrap it up and get over that $10,000 mark. Jeff Dorson from the Humane Society of Louisiana will join us on Thursday, like he does every Thursday for about 5 minutes, tossing a bone, pun intended to that cat, pun intended again. We'll find out the total tally on Thursday. The 2024 legislative session has ended. A lot accomplished. Gov Landry's agenda. Bill Walton passed away last week. There were a lot of John Wooden quotes, and one of them, which is really just fantastic, and it made me think about the legislative session, I want to try to find the exact quote, but it was like, never mistake activity for achievement. Never mistake activity for achievement. John Wooden was good, and John Wooden was smart. Never mistake activity for achievement. This is all a wait and see. A lot of Gov Landry's agenda was accomplished. Some of it was not. But a lot of things were. It was a ridiculously active session with major bills that are game changers in some way, good or bad. Piper Hutchinson covers the state capitol for the Louisiana Illuminator, and she's going to do some illuminating. She's going to fill us in on a lot of what went down in BR this legislative session. I can't think of one that was ever like this. I mean, maybe like a Buddy Roemer session in the late 80s, 87, 88, maybe the Constitutional Convention, early 70s, 71, 72. You got to go way back to think of when there was this much going on at a legislative session. Speaking of a lot going on, a friend of mine was like, man, you may have to go back to like Mark Essex at the Howard Johnson's 1973, I believe, shooting up the city. A major police presence right now. Claiborne at the parish line, Holly Grove neighborhood, directly across the street from the Sewerage and Water Board, the Pigeon Town neighborhood. But this is Holly Grove, Claiborne, in between Claiborne and Earhart. If you want to say the parish line, 17th Street Canal and Holly Grove Street, or the bigger street, Leonidas. No, a major presence. On Claiborne, about a dozen police cruisers, marked and unmarked. And then down, it's not Mistletoe, it's the last street right along the canal, a bunch of more police cruisers. Some SWAT guys in between some houses. I was at first thinking hostage situation. Now I'm more thinking a fugitive that they're trying to catch, that they've cornered. And the best I can tell you is Parish Line, Claiborne, Earhart, Holly Grove Street, in that square. There are probably 20 plus police cruisers, and there are probably 20, 30 plus policemen, SWAT guys in tactical gear. I saw at least one state trooper, marked vehicle. So a huge police presence. I would guess some very dangerous criminal that has murdered people. That's what I would think. Or a child being held or something like that. But I'm thinking more of a criminal that is dangerous, armed, that's on the run. We'll find out more and let you know. I posted some video on Twitter. I was in Dat Hood. I live in Dat Hood, basically. Right by the Riverbend, Carrollton, Holly Grove, Pigeon Town, Sewage and Water Board, Oak Street, right up in that area. Right by the parish line. You can check it out on my Twitter, at Corey Johnson. The mayor, I like this line. I got to give it to the mayor. I mean, I'm critical of Mayor LaToya Cantrell, probably 99.9% of the time. Junket Cantrell, I've nicknamed her. Summer of Super Bowl. I like that. I like the sound of that. A lot going on this summer to get New Orleans rolling for the Super Bowl. I like that a lot. 90 days of summer, 100 days of summer. We're just getting into June, July, August, those tough months. But, a lot of folks, no kids in school, families on vacation, summer camp, that kind of thing. Sort of a slowdown in the city, a great time to get those ants on the sugar cube, workers all over the city, polishing it up, shining it up, making us look good. Governor Landry saying crime. It's going to be the safest city in the country come Super Bowl. The safest city in the country. I like the sound of that. Should we start the show over, Miss Peaches? I'm praising the mayor and the governor. Corey Johnson on the neutral ground. The mayor, summer of Super Bowl. Yeah, you're right. The governor, crime. By February, New Orleans will be the safest city in the country. And then he said public works projects. Thank God, finally. Sinkhole City. I love when they patch up a street and then water's coming out of the patch up. I'm like, gonna collapse again. Broken pipe underneath. That's what caused the initial collapse. Oh, boy. Tuesday afternoon. No, I like that. The mayor and the governor. Holy smokes. Speaking of the governor, his agenda, the legislative session, 2024 session in the books, it's ended. Piper Hutchinson covers it for the Louisiana Illuminator. She's going to join us next. We're going to get her professional journalistic take on it on this Tuesday afternoon. Hey, are you tired of your dry cleaner? Just every few days, every few weeks, you put something on. It's just not right. Collar's not ironed right. Button missing. You're like, how could they miss this? How could they do this? Worse now, this crease, than when I brought it. Dirty. You want to experience the best dry cleaner? Only a New Orleans institution since 1940, going on 85 years of excellence. Young's Dry Cleaning. Check them out online, youngsdrycleaning.com. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery. Dozens and dozens and dozens of manless locker locations all over Metro New Orleans. youngsdrycleaning.com. Experience the best. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Spread the love. Blue Plate Mayonnaise, a New Orleans family tradition since 1927, over 95 years. They've got a new look, a new label, but inside that jar, inside that squeeze bottle, the Blue Plate Mayonnaise you've always loved. New look, same legendary taste. Blue Plate Mayonnaise. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. The 2024 legislative session has ended. I was at LSU for like the Buddy Roemer era. That was pretty crazy. A lot of stuff going on. I mean, maybe that compares to this. I don't know. I was around like alive. I had a pulse, but I didn't know what was going on in 72, 73, that Constitutional Convention, Edwin Edwards' first term. I know a lot went down then. But this is, in my lifetime, as I don't know if I should say productive, because I don't know what the end result of all this is, but very active legislative session, a governor with a big agenda that threw a lot of stuff out there, and a lot of it stuck. We'll see if it's good or bad. I like that John Wooden quote, the one about don't confuse activity with achievement. It's a wait and see. Piper Hutchinson joins us from the Louisiana Illuminator. How you doing, Piper?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, how can folks check out the Louisiana Illuminator and tell us a little history of that news site and organization?
So we're an online nonprofit newsroom, lailluminator.com. We're one of 50 newsrooms in each state that cover state politics. You can go to our website to get non-paywall free news and sign up for a free newsletter, or you can find us in local outlets who are able to run our content for free. So recently we were picked up by Fox 8 New Orleans and other local outlets in New Orleans and around the state. Nice.
That's fantastic. How many folks over there, Piper, part-time and full-time?
We've got 4 full-time right now, and we're welcoming a 5th reporter in July.
That's fantastic. I mean, with sort of the demise or the loss of the old print newspaper and the big newsrooms and the investigative reporting, I always think, I mean, I guess they're sort of sports related. I always think about the Indianapolis Star and the Dr. Nasser and the gymnasts. I think about the steroids and, you know, the San Francisco Chronicle and those 2 sports guys. I mean, just dedicating resources for an extended period of time, doing all this investigative work for like 1 or 2 Sundays and making the, you know, front page. But it's such a service to people. Thank goodness for you guys that still do this investigative stuff and real journalism, because scary if it wasn't around.
Oh, well, thanks for reading.
Yep, no doubt. No doubt. That's basically what the Louisiana Illuminator and news organizations like it are doing, right? Filling that gap, that vacuum of the regular old school print newspapers going bye-bye.
Absolutely. You know, we are specifically focused on state houses just because there's been such a decline in people covering state politics. And that's where the big decisions that really impact people's lives happen. And we're moving in there to fill that gap.
Yep. Piper, what's your resume? You don't have to go through the whole thing, but before the Illuminator, you've got some experience in Baton Rouge and state capitol politics here in Louisiana, don't you?
Well, before I was at the Illuminator, I did the Manship News Service, which is a state house reporting program at the LSU Manship School. And while I was doing that, I was also a reporter at the Reveille at LSU.
Hey, Piper, the 2024 legislative session has ended. A lot accomplished. Gov Landry's agenda. What's your take on it? What if someone asked you about this legislative session, what would you say? Very active, lots of legislation passed. What I'm talking about, some Gov Landry oriented, pretty much everything he wanted, he got almost. What's your take?
Well, certainly a very active session. This was a long regular session after 2 special sessions. Felt like they were working constantly for 6 months, and the governor got a lot of what he wanted. Not quite everything, but it was kind of unprecedented to see the legislature cede more power to the executive branch like they did this year.
Also, it'd probably be easier to say what he didn't get than what he got, right?
Right. Well, he pushed really hard for this broad public records exemption that would have, made pretty much every record at all levels of government completely inaccessible to the public. Now, he didn't get that, but what they got was a bill that limited public records access for the governor's office to Louisiana residents. So if you're an investigative reporter for the Washington Post, you can't access governor's office records unless you get somebody in state to file that for you.
Wow.
That was the big compromise on that front. Another bill that gave him the ability to appoint chairs for boards and commissions that he has control over. It started much broader. It would have allowed him to appoint the chairs and the officers for hundreds of boards. In its original form, the governor actually could have appointed the president of the 4 university systems, and that was trimmed back in that bill. But yeah, it started with a lot of power transfer, and it is still quite a bit more power for the governor.
Yeah, the public records, this amendment right at the end, right? It's like, okay, the whole broad-based one didn't pass, but the one for me did. I'm pretty much covered, right? The governor is trips, meetings. He can hide that, right?
So the security exemption for the governor, the legislative intent was not to hide all of the governor's meetings. It's just details that could harm his security and the security of his family. Now, the legislators who proposed it were very explicit about the legislative intent, which, could come in handy if the governor's office goes too far in citing that exemption. If that happens, I'm sure that's something that's going to be litigated.
Piper Hutchinson's with us from the Louisiana Illuminator. She covers the state capitol, Louisiana politics out of Baton Rouge. Boy, a big long list of major changes, some significant, some not so much, some kind of just political. Permitless concealed carry 18 plus. Got that one cleared, no problem, right?
Yeah, that one passed in one of the earlier special sessions, and then they came back in and broadened it to all firearms, not just handguns. And you would also be able to conceal carry firearms in restaurants that serve alcohol, as long as it's not more than 50% of the business. So yes,
wow.
You can concealed carry without a license, and you can concealed carry more firearms and in more places than before this year.
Hey, how you guys doing? Do you have more food than alcohol? Because I've got a concealed carry. Yes, sir. We do 51% food, 49% booze. Come on in. That's just crazy. Something that's pretty significant. The concealed carry thing, before I go on, that to me is just like a big experiment, Piper. We'll see if it works or not, if it's good or bad. Troop End, that seems to be working. I mean, crime already declining in New Orleans. Now you bring in this Troop End, again, back, about 40, 50 troopers that are stationed in New Orleans, right?
That sounds about right. I haven't been following that proposal very carefully, but that's a big priority for the governor to crack down on crime in New Orleans.
Now, this one I think is crazy. They amended it to where private funds would be used, but I think this has popped up in other places. I think you're going to get like the devil monument coming and the spaghetti monster religion or whatever it is. This 10 Commandments monument, it was going to be taxpayer financed. Then I think they were smart enough to realize other groups would want taxpayer finance monuments. Now it's going to be privately funded. I don't know. even though the law passed, there's going to be a lot of lawsuits, maybe unconstitutional, Piper. Is that what you're hearing?
Well, the lawmakers anticipated the lawsuits, which is why they amended it, after consulting with the Solicitor General. And they put in more details about why they want the 10 Commandments. And they also allowed people to post the Mayflower Compact and other historical documents. Boy. So they knew a lawsuit was coming. I think it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, me too. And I think they're little things like you're talking about, the Mayflower Compact, acting like this is just a historical document. I don't think that's going to hold water. The Department of Environmental Quality, the person that runs that, they were the Ohio State women's row captain, right? Isn't that right?
So I think you're confusing the Department of Environmental Quality with the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries.
Oh.
So Wildlife and Fisheries is the very young woman who was an Ohio State rower with a close relationship with Urban Meyer.
That's right. And DEQ is the oil guy.
Aurelia Giacometto, she was in the Trump administration before she came to Louisiana.
Great. I'm glad you're with me, Piper, straightening all this stuff out. I'm going to have to figure out who the oil guy is, where he is. Maybe he's running natural resources, I think, the oil guy.
It's hard to keep up with all the oil guys in state government.
It is. Hey, hang on one second, Piper. We're going to take a quick break. Piper Hutchinson's with us from the Louisiana Illuminator. Don't move.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Summer heat, 90 degrees, feels like 97. Corey Johnson back at you. The 2024 legislative session has ended. Piper Hutchinson covered it, covers Baton Rouge, covers the Louisiana Capitol, Louisiana politics for the Louisiana Illuminator. She joins us live on the program. Yeah, Piper, talking about the Gov Landry agenda and his legislative session. We were going through all these different DEQ head and the wildlife and fisheries and natural resources and all of this. So, yeah, I guess the point is putting in people. The DEQ person was like, "Hey, right away, the governor wants me to work with businesses." I'm like, wow, it's the Department of Environmental Quality. It's worry about the environment. Don't go against businesses, but I don't think there's some reach out necessary to the oil and gas and chemical industry. Anyway, it seems. It's like yesterday's press conference, this energy thing. This is Louisiana. Does anyone think we're overregulated in the oil, gas, chemical industry, that we restrict it, that they're not polluting and things of that nature? I don't know. I think a lot of this stuff is kind of backwards, Piper.
I'm not sure I have an opinion on that front. The governor certainly is interested in the oil and gas industry. Something notable I thought about the budgetary process is that there was a lot less money appropriated for coastal restoration this year than in previous years. I wonder if that's going to be a trend for the governor.
Yeah, that's kind of scary stuff. Why? Where did that money go instead?
Well, the governor put in a lot of money for his criminal justice overhaul. There was money for a teacher stipend. There's money for higher education deferred maintenance. Just kind of notable how much less money there was for coastal restoration than in previous years.
Yeah, that's not a good thing at all. And this is the governor that a couple of weeks in went to the Texas border. And that's a rich state. We're a poor state. I doubt Abbott's going to send troopers to Grand Isle to help with coastal restoration. So I don't quite get that. Hey, this 25-foot police buffer thing, that law is pretty much already in place. This seems to me just sort of kind of political, just sort of placating, appeasing the base of his politics, or do you think there's some legitimacy to this 25-foot police buffer? I've talked to a few cops and they're like, it already exists. Some have even quoted like the ordinance. It's like interfering with police business is like a crime.
Yeah, I think this was something that, some people in law enforcement had asked for, but a lot of critics have raised concerns about the chilling effect it could have. A lot of reporting on police brutality, holding police accountable, it starts with a bystander cell phone video of a police officer interacting with, somebody they're arresting.
Yeah, that's a great point. Hey, the Gator education vouchers, what essentially you can take money that you would be using towards public school and apply it to private?
Yeah, that one's interesting. I guess that's probably a front where the governor didn't get quite what he wanted. I think original proposal would have cost eventually like $300 to $5 million a year to send kids to private school. And they came up with a compromise bill to delay the implementation for about a year while education officials study it. But it's gotten a lot of pushback, especially from rural legislators, rural Republicans too, because a lot of those schools, there aren't really private school alternatives for those.
It's funny, some things are okay to be taught in school and some things aren't. With this governor, this social studies standard is kind of interesting, to say the least, Piper. How would you view that from a journalistic perspective, like fair and objectively? Like, it's not
Are you referring to the new partnership with PragerU?
Exactly. Yep.
That one is interesting. I think there are a lot of concerns about what are in those videos that do seem pretty biased towards a certain viewpoint.
Yep.
And a lot of people are upset about the possibility of these being shown to, young children in a way that makes them come across as non-biased when they're really not.
Hey, the abortion pill, we're really in a good way to say it, because these two pills do a lot more than that. Controlled substance. I don't know if that's like the trend you want to set. We're the first state to have that. I don't know.
That was one of the real big surprises of the session. That came in, in one of its final stops. So there was no real opportunity for the public to comment on that. And, doctors are really concerned that this could impact, our already terrible maternal health rates, because classifying these drugs, which has a lot of uses, not just for maternal health, as Schedule 4 drugs, it requires doctors to have special licensing to dole them out, which again is a concern in rural Louisiana.
Deregulating insurance, that's almost like this permitless concealed carry. It seems like it's going to be an experiment. We'll see if it's good or not. Ethics board appointees, we already talked a little bit about that. First off, Louisiana has an ethics board. I love the Bobby Jindal gold standard of ethics. That ethics board's just a lot of bark and no bite. I wouldn't even say a lot of bark, minimal bark and zero bite. But the governor, will he get to appoint the ethics board members?
Yeah, we do have an ethics board, and it is looking into the governor for some ethics charges. And now he'll get to decide who's on that board without any of the safeguards that had been put into that board.
And between you and I, Piper, I think the board was pretty darn weak to begin with. So even, this looking into the governor, I don't think anything would have come of it. And now he gets to put his people on there. Crazy. He didn't get the Constitutional Convention, I guess, or did he? Is that something later? More planning, more time? It's going to come in the future? What?
So the last I heard was that the compromise that the Senate is proposing is to have this special session in August, where they would have a proposed constitutional amendment for each article of the Constitution and put like dozens of these amendments on the ballot. That was what had kind of been proposed as the alternative to the Constitutional Convention, which that bill failed to pass. But now it's sounding like nobody wants to come in for this special session either. So that could change, but when I spoke to Senate President Cameron Henry yesterday, it sounded like it was not going to happen.
And if it does, and that's a good source, Cameron Henry, if it does happen, the way the governor wants it to work, the legislature that he controls would appoint a lot of the convention people, and then the governor would appoint dozens and dozens and dozens, and would, between his appointees and his pals in the legislature, he essentially would have full control over this constitutional convention, the participants, right? If it went the way he wanted it.
Right. You know, with a special session, the governor doesn't get any appointees, so his influence is cut back a bit.
Hey, Piper, are we missing anything from the 2024 legislative session? Something that stands out? Something that's a new law that's going to kick in soon that could be significant? Are we missing anything?
You know, one of the big fights this session was over 3 anti-LGBTQ bills that have kind of been fought back under the Edwards administration that are now slated to become law. So those laws primarily limit discussion of gender identity and sexual orientation in public schools, but there's also one that limits what, restrooms and sleeping quarters transgender people can use in public facilities. The governor is expected to sign all of these into law, which again, Edwards refused to do. So that's going to be another big change this year.
Yeah, that's my big concern. Some of these laws that could drive away conventions, or like a Final Four or something like that, a NBA All-Star game, things of that nature. We've seen politics affect events in other places before.
Right. Yeah, that is one concern with those bills. That's happened in other states, and it could happen here.
Yep. Hey, Piper, how can we check out all the stuff you do? How can we check out everything from the Louisiana Illuminator?
So you can go access all of our content, which is free, no paywalls, on lailluminator.com. You can follow me personally on Twitter @ByPiperHutch and sign up for my higher ed newsletter. And look out for our content on the radio, on the TV, and in the newspaper all around the state.
Yep, and the new Fox 8 connection?
Yep, we've got a partnership with Fox 8 and WAFB and all of their sister stations around the state. And also sometimes on WWNO and WRKS.
Nice. Fox 8 New Orleans, Channel 9 in Baton Rouge. Piper, thanks so much for joining me this afternoon.
Thanks so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
That's Piper Hutchinson, Louisiana Illuminator. Corey Johnson with you. Best quality, best price, best selection. You know what I'm talking about. Your Rouse's Market. Only over 60 of them. More than a third in Metro New Orleans. You're driving home from work on the way home. There's a Rouse's on the way. Best quality, best price, best selection. Rouse's Markets.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you. It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at Rouse's.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Just talking to Miss Peaches. She had a little fried shrimp po' boy encounter with the family over the weekend and said how great it was. She says the only regret doing it inside. You want to know the gimmick? I do this when I'll go like on a Florida trip. You go to like a crappy big box store I don't want to go to, like a Walmart or whatever. You go to Ace Hardware, they probably have it for sure. Go to an Ace, Walmart, whatever, Target. It's that little coil burner, just a single one. It plugs in and it's for one pot. And you plug that thing in and you do your fish fry outside so you don't smell up the house. But we were talking about that, and then we're talking about just how she said, the fried shrimp po' boys we did were like better than when you go to a place. I'm like, of course, Miss Peaches, because you did them. You go to a place. She said something like the bread's not right. Yeah, they didn't use Leidenheimer, or the shrimp aren't right. It's like, yeah, the crust is falling off. I can honestly say there's like a few things I do ridiculously well in life. Just a few. Very few that hey man, he's like the champ. Fried shrimp, I'm sort of the champ. I'm pretty damn close to being the world leader in fried shrimp. It was this girl I used to date's grandmother that showed me the light. You get fresh Louisiana shrimp, they're deveined. Now that fat part of the shrimp, you just slice him kind of in half. So you've got like the tail and then the fatter part split. So you have like 3 equal pieces. And then it's a shrimp. I don't know about you. Could you imagine if you had like a shrimp in your hand and you dropped it in like a part of the lawn that was dried out, that was just dust? Would the dust stick to the shrimp, you think? Or would the shrimp just be clean and the dust wouldn't stick? The shrimp would be coated in the dust. So all you folks that are dipping shrimp in like egg batter or wash or any of this, waste time. All you need is some good like Zatarain's fish fry, whatever you want, Rex, whatever brand you want to use. Maybe add a little cayenne pepper. That's about it. I wouldn't, you can use the seasoned one, but it's really just a lot more salt. I wouldn't add salt to the fish fry. Maybe a little cayenne pepper, a little black pepper. That's it. And then you wash the shrimp, you dry the shrimp. And then you take the shrimp and you roll them around in the fish fry, shake off the excess, and drop them in some very hot grease going, some oil. And small batches, like maybe 8 or 10 shrimp at a time, tops. And then you got to take like a fork or something and move those shrimp around a little bit. You can't just put them in and take them out, and that's it. You got to move them around a little, keep them moving a little. Maybe 1/3 of the time they're frying, you're moving them around with a fork, like 25%, a third of the time. And then when they get golden brown, you dump them out on some paper towels or old brown bag and get the oil off of them. Shake them, in the basket. Let them drain a little and then dump them out. And I put a little lemon. You can have your tartar sauce, ketchup, whatever. Fantastic. There's no way the batter or crust falls off because it's hooked to the shrimp. It's part of the shrimp. And if you think it's just a fried shrimp and all the batter falls off when it hits the grease, or I say batter, the fish fry, you're wrong. It sticks to the shrimp. The grease is hot enough where it just sears it on there. They are excellent fried shrimp. You can add a little salt and black pepper after the fact. But yeah, Miss Peaches, most people, the oil's not hot enough. They throw in too many shrimp, drop the oil temperature. The shrimp get greasy. They're breading them. They're dipping them in egg wash and breading them. As they're putting them in the oil, the crappy breading's dripping off the shrimp, so they're overcoated. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Crappy bread. The shrimp have been sitting out 20 minutes before they make your sandwich. You want me to continue? Most fried shrimp platters, most fried shrimp po' boys suck. Wouldn't want to have anything to do with most of them in the city. It's like jambalaya, crawfish etouffee, or gumbo. You want to avoid most of it. But we have a bunch of places that have really good fried shrimp po' boys and platters and gumbo and stuff like that. A lot. More than anywhere else in the world. But so many places just sort of go through the motions, don't put in an honest effort, and it's kind of a crappy product. And I don't want, look, fried shrimp's already a fried thing. It's already sort of heavy. You don't want it to be crappy, greasy, and crust falling off and all that. It's just nothing worse than that. And that's Shrimp Talk. Next week, we talk crabs. I'm Corey Johnson. Good night, everyone. Sheesh. That's the program. No, I'm serious. It's over. Why are y'all still here? Why am I on still? Turn this thing off. Hey, hello. Show's over. Shrimp Talk's done. All right. Michael Heck's going to join us in about 20 minutes. Yeah, Michael Heck, who usually joins us on a Friday from Greater New Orleans, Inc. The mayor, the governor, the governor's appointee, the governor's point man for the Super Bowl, Michael Heck. I'm on that board. I'm on that commission, Miss Peaches. I'm on a Jeff Landry commission indirectly. Isn't that funny? I think the governor hears about that. Hey, Mr. Heck, this is Jeff Landry. Look, that Johnson guy in New Orleans, you got to get rid of him, okay? We don't want him on this board. We're trying to put on a good Super Bowl. We don't need all the negative, cynical, which, we need yes men, okay? You get rid of that Johnson guy. He might look at things fairly and objectively and look at the facts and go where the facts lead him. I need yes men. Thank you, Mr. Mike. All right. I don't think Michael's turning in a list of, here are the names of the people that are helping. But Michael's smart. He knows, I know New Orleans pretty well. And just naturally and professionally, I observe and see things. Wow, that's fantastic. That's terrible. So you need people, I don't want to say special people, but you need people that see things outside the bubble. So when these people from outside New Orleans come here, they're impressed. You got to make the negatives at least neutral and then try to make a lot of neutral things a positive. And then you're on your way. What's that, Blue Boy? Michael Hecht in the 5 o'clock power hour. The legislative session's done. Summer a Super Bowl. major police presence by the parish
On the
line, and
Neutral
more.
Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Well, we're moving on now. We're moving on up to the east side.
Yes. Strut, George Jefferson, strut. You've earned it. What a great program. Hey, you youngsters out there, check out the Jeffersons, and also remember, hey, this was 50 years ago. This was the mid-70s. Some of that show might not fly today because of you PC lunatics. Fantastic television. All right, speaking of, it's time for the Neutral Ground with me. Where's Drew Brees already? There he is with that introduction. That was live from La Jolla. We paid Drew Brees $5,000 a month for those introductions. They're live. He has to stop his life, dial us up here on the Rouse's Markets phone lines and shout it out every day. All right, that's all BS. We don't pay Drew Brees. That is Drew Brees' voice, but it's pre-recorded from years and years ago when he was a Saints player. Hey, we're broadcasting live from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios. Total Maintenance, summer's here. You're going to want to remember NOLAAC.com. You may not need them today, next month, maybe not this summer. Hopefully you don't. I'm not planning on it. But if something does happen, if my AC is not working right in this heat, I'm calling Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys right away. I'm going to be like, what? What's wrong with my air conditioning? I'm going to be mad for about 10 seconds. I don't need this. What's going on? And I'm calling Lucas, and they're going to come over immediately. They're going to diagnose it right away. They're going to fix it right away. And my AC will be back to normal again, doing what it's supposed to be doing, keeping me cool during these ridiculously hot summer months that we're right in the middle of right now. And we're going to be in for the next 3-4 months straight. Honest air conditioning experts that come immediately. You can find Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys at River City's Total Maintenance online, NOLAAC.com. That's all you need to know. 6 little letters and then .com, NOLAAC.com. And you're saved. I love those guys, Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys. Yeah, it's hot, 90 degrees, 91 degrees, feels like 97, 98 degrees. Kind of a rinse and repeat. Mid to high 70s to start every day, mid to high 90s. Feels like to end every day for like the next week and a half. No rain, like, quote, in the forecast, but it gets so hot and steamy, and we're on the top of the subtropic zone. We're in essentially a marsh, a swamp, a wetland. We kind of create our own humidity, our own rain. It's almost like, I think, God saying, hey, you guys would burn up and dry up otherwise. Gotta put a little rain out there. Piper Hutchinson from the Louisiana Illuminator joined us last hour. The 2024 legislative session in Baton Rouge has ended. A lot accomplished. I love the John Wooden quote, don't confuse activity with accomplishment. A lot of bills passed, if you want to say accomplishment, but we'll just have to wait and see if any of it is, a positive, that it affects us, New Orleans, Louisiana, in a positive way. Gov Landry's agenda, a lot of stuff on it. Didn't get the Constitutional Convention yet. Didn't get the full-blown public records request law, but got one that keeps him pretty hidden. Got what he wanted.
permitless concealed carry, Troop N in New Orleans, 10 Commandments, the DEQ head, the wildlife and fisheries, natural resources, all folks that really aren't experts in the field that they're hired to be experts in. The 25-foot police buffer already exists. That's pure politics. Gator education vouchers, social study agenda, abortion pill as a controlled substance, deregulating insurance, ethics board appointees. Already had a weak, pathetic, worthless ethics board in Louisiana. Landry's going to make it even weaker. He controls it. Public records, I mentioned he gets what he wants. The governor's travel, meetings are hidden. State troopers to Texas. Don't say gay. AG handling criminal cases in New Orleans. Landry wanted to appoint chairs of boards and commissions, including the 4 higher education boards. Still getting a lot of that power. The mayor, the governor, meeting today. Michael Hecht was there. He's the governor's point man for Super Bowl preparations. This is crazy. I can't believe I'm saying this. I love what the mayor said. The summer of the Super Bowl, summer of Super Bowl. Because, man, June, July, August, outside of Essence Fest, maybe a little tomato festival, a little Armstrong Fest. Not a whole lot going on. Hot, lots of kids obviously out of school, lots of kids and parents, families on vacation out of the city. Things sort of slow down. I love the summer of Super Bowl. Can get so much done in June, July, August, and not be scrambling so much come December, January, into February of next year. The governor talked about crime, said New Orleans will be the safest city in the country come February. I like that. Public works projects. I like that. We need that. Clean up New Orleans, make it look better. Fix the roads, especially the ones where tourists and conventioneers and Super Bowl people are going to be traversing, walking up and down sidewalks, all that. Fix all that. Can't look third world, broken. Can't have it look like it looks right now. So, yeah, I like what the mayor's saying. Oh, my God. I like what the governor's saying. Oh, my God. What's happened to Corey Johnson? He's selling out? No. Mayor and the governor making sense. Michael Hecht was there. He's the governor's point man on the Super Bowl. Michael Hecht asked me to be on that board, that commission, that group of people that are putting out a punch list, 200-300 items, things we need to do for the Super Bowl. I said, sure, glad to do it. Of course. I have opinions on it. I want to participate in that. I love New Orleans. I want to see us put our best foot forward. Don't want us embarrassing ourselves. No, it's like if you're asked, questions, what kind of answers do you want to have? Governor, Mayor, Michael, how do we know there won't be a power outage like last Super Bowl? What if New Orleans gets a rain event? Will the city flood? Lots of road construction in New Orleans. Are there any areas one should avoid? Besides the interstate, will high tourist areas have all the lights working? Any plans to light up certain areas even more? Thank goodness for GPS, but will basic street signs be replaced at intersections where they're missing? Will roadways like St. Charles Avenue in between, say, Poydras and Old Lee Circle, for instance, will they get basic striping so visitors will actually know it's a 2-lane street? Will weeds and graffiti be removed? Will trash and litter be non-existent? No, lots of questions. I'm just scratching the surface. Michael Heck's going to join us from Greater New Orleans Inc. to talk about that major press conference, the mayor, the governor, Super Bowl press conference. A little over 8 months away. 8 months. 8 months, basically. It's June 4th. The Super Bowl's February 9th. 8 months and a week. Boy, major police presence at the parish line. I'll fill you in on that. Claiborne's by Holly Grove, right by that Lowe's, but in New Orleans. Must have been 15, 20 cruisers. Must have been 20, 30 cops, SWAT unit. A fugitive, I believe, they were trying to locate that was on the run. Hey, every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra. Lamarck Ford, the big store, for over 45 years. Number one Ford dealership in the region. If you're thinking about a Ford vehicle, F-150, whatever, why would you even think of going to any other Ford dealership? Lamarck Ford, the big store in Kenner. Are you kidding me? Inventory, price, service. They got what you want. The big store, Lamarck Ford in Kenner. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and now Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com. Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something you
have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Hey, the 5 o'clock power hour brought to you by Leidenheimer Baking Company. They've only been at it since 1896. I think Oklahoma became a state in like 1908. Leidenheimer Baking Company's baking bread in New Orleans, and there's like 45 states. Over 125 years, fifth generation, family owned and operated. It's really the official French bread in New Orleans. Your favorite po' boy, fine dining restaurant, nothing like that piping hot Leidenheimer French bread. And now Leidenheimer French bread, doing all of their baking in New Orleans, ships out, exports to about 20 states in the region. I'm not kidding you. A little secret you may not know, Leidenheimer French bread freezes like a champ. Put that Leidenheimer French bread in the freezer a week later, take it out, throw it in the oven 6-8 minutes later, crispy outside, piping hot center. Tough to beat, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer French bread. 5 o'clock power hour brought to you by Leidenheimer Baking Company this afternoon. Earlier today, the mayor, I like what she said. I mean, I know it's crazy. I'm liking what the mayor said. Summer a Super Bowl. That sounds so good. The governor, crime. New Orleans is going to be the safest city in America, in the country, by February. Plus public works and other projects. I'm like, boy, I'm liking what the mayor's saying. I'm liking what the governor's saying. They have to start the program over again. It's usually the other way around. Michael Hecht is the governor's point man for Super Bowl 59, coming up in a little over 8 months right here in New Orleans. He joins us every Friday on the program. He's joining us today because of what went down earlier. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing good, Corey. Yeah, it's been really interesting to get the feedback, on it. But it's been almost uniformly positive. People love the unanimity. They love the focus. They love the using the Super Bowl as kind of the forcing function for this. It's been really interesting to see, really gratifying to see. People are psyched.
No, and I'm excited that this press conference took place, Michael, because it is 8 months away. We don't want this press conference going down like November 1st. June, July, August. I mean, I was saying earlier, outside of like Essence, Tomato Fest, maybe Louis Armstrong Fest, there's not a lot going on in the summer. This 100 days of summer in New Orleans, we can get a lot of stuff accomplished if we focus and have a sense of urgency.
That's right. Now's the time to do it. School's out, fewer people here. And, we're not going to be able to get everything done that we want to get done. But with 9 months, we still have a chance to get a good amount done. I mean, listen, we've got 255 days left. That's enough time to get a good bit of the road work done, the lighting, the sidewalks, interstate lights. None of these are major projects. These are our maintenance projects.
Yeah, you're talking about making sure roads and sidewalks look good, making sure from the airport to the city, the interstate's lit up bright, other lighting upgrades to places, and then some drainage fixes you were talking about, projects that have been stalled for years because of red tape and bureaucracy, just busting through that and getting these done?
Yeah, basically. And, it's actually funny. I was talking to my wife who was at the event, And he said, you introduced over 500 projects that were going to get done: street repair, curb repair, drainage repair, sidewalk cracks getting fixed. And everybody was so excited. She said, what other part of the world would we have a press conference to announce that we're fixing the sidewalks and people would be excited?
Maybe Amsterdam digging bikes out of the canals. That's the only thing I can think of.
And I said, yeah, that's true, but here's where we are, and we're going to look really good for the Super Bowl. And I think, it's actually interesting, Corey. There's evidence of kind of how much this can last. When we've been doing drive-arounds trying to pick out stuff that needs to be fixed for the Super Bowl, some of the infrastructure that we've been picking out that needs to be repaired is from the 1984 World's Fair. And on one hand, it definitely needs to be repaired. That was 40 years ago. But on the other hand, it does show you that when you do this stuff, it can last for a generation.
Yep.
And so it's really not just about the Super Bowl. It's, it's about CBD, French Quarter, all these areas.
Now, New Orleanians are going to notice a lot because it's going to be dramatic change. Here's the thing that we've got to really stay on top of, Michael. It's like when they redid the interstate out in New Orleans East, and it was nice. It was terrible before. When people from out of town would come run into town, they'd go, oh, my God, you come in from Mississippi and Louisiana, the interstate just goes to crap. Louisiana's a joke. It's the worst interstate, blah, 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 blah. When we fix it, they don't go, oh, my God, the interstate's so smooth in Louisiana. It's supposed to be that way. So it's normal. We don't get a star or a pat on the back. We just don't get the negative criticism. There's no positive either. It's normal. A lot of these things, it's getting things to normal, right? It's just getting things to normal.
Well, one of the people I was talking to today, excuse me, was the police chief, Ann Kirkpatrick. And she had a great line in her first introduction meeting to the NOLA Coalition. She said, guys, we're just going to be brilliant at the basics.
Yeah.
I will take brilliant at the basics, all day, any day. That's perfect. That's what what we're trying to be here. And when you look at what we're doing for the Super Bowl, there's some of it which is glamorous and exciting, like getting murals painted, to beautify big public walls, for sure. But a lot of it is just being brilliant at the basics.
Yep.
Streets, lights, drainage.
Yeah,
and the thing about New Orleans is that if New Orleans gets the basics to a decent level, everything else just shines because it's so exceptional, right?
No, you're so right. Exactly. That's such a great point, Michael. And but there are going to be some new things, like you mentioned, and like the Crescent City connection all lit up. So we're getting a bunch of things normal, and then we are getting some new highlights, right?
Yeah. So you can think about these things in the two categories. There's the getting back to normal, and then there's the being exceptional. So
yep.
Yeah, the getting back to normal, we kind of know what that is. It's not just streets; it's also things like the homeless encampments and graffiti and blight. But then you've got the stuff that's going to really make this place pop, and that is the murals that are going in.
Yes.
The Crescent City Connection is going to have programmable LED lights.
Yep.
The refurbishment of St. Patrick's, St. Louis Cathedral, that's going to have also projections on it. One of the more interesting things and things I'm kind of more concerned about is Fox is going to be setting up shop at the corner of Bourbon and St. Peter's for the entire week. And, that's exciting. But that also means that, we really got to make sure that the French Quarter, and particularly Bourbon Street, is it the best version of itself, right? And that's, and we should anyway, but now it's really on to us to do that.
Oh boy, that's a Corey Johnson topic, reimagining Bourbon Street. Too late
Corey, you can go right down the corner of St. Peter and Bourbon.
Yeah. Too late for that for the Super Bowl, but we can flush the toilet at least, you know.
Yeah.
That's what Bourbon Street is. There's a reason us locals don't go down there, Michael. Bourbon Street sucks. I'll fill you in on a little secret. It sucks. No, but yeah, cleaning it up and making it better. And that's awesome that the historic, quarter and Fox with the, wrought iron balconies and all that in the background, like nowhere else. I mean, if it was Tampa, they'd be by the boat marina,
Yeah, and if we're thinking about this, Corey, it really is the part of the quarter that needs to be fixed up. It really is just kind of going back to, you don't have to really go further downriver than St. Anne or Dumaine, maybe St. Philip, like Lafitte's Blacksmith Bar at the most.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So from St. Philip up, I'm looking on a map, that's 6 blocks
yep.
from the river inland. And then that's 6 by...
Another 6 from Lafitte's to Canal Street.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you're going to really go all the way to the 100 block, still only 50 square blocks, right?
No, that needs to be Disneyland clean.
That's part of the challenge. And then some of the things are things that are just kind of my personal, Moby Dicks, like that pothole at the intersection of Claiborne and Poydras getting onto I-10. That's been there since Katrina. It's been there so long. Autonomous vehicles are programmed to go around it.
Exactly.
We're going to fill that one in. If I have to go to Home Depot on February 8th and get a bag of gravel, it's getting fixed.
Michael Heck's with us from Greater New Orleans saying, can I rattle off some questions, Michael, that maybe you were asked today?
Rattle.
How do we know there won't be a power outage like last Super Bowl?
There's 3 things. That's a good question, obvious question. One is that the equipment that failed has been replaced. The second is that they've got better redundancy. And the third is they've got a cross-agency team now that's looking at it regularly and is going to be monitoring it through the game. So there will be another Black Swan event, but I'd be shocked if it was that one.
What if New Orleans gets a rain event? Will the city flood?
If New Orleans gets a rain event, I think we're going to be, we're looking good now. 92 of the 99 pumps are up, so almost all of them. We're going to very soon have turbine 4 on, and we'll have 70 megawatts of power. We only need 40 something. The city and the sewer and water board are cleaning catch basins. So, given normal circumstances, I think we should be okay.
Lots of road construction in New Orleans. Are there any areas one should avoid?
I would say, not avoid, but things are going to be dense in the CBD and French Quarter, through the summer. Poydras Street's being worked on right now. That's got a couple months more to go on it. Claiborne, which is a SELA project, should be done by Thanksgiving. The Crescent City connection should be done by July. So, I just think that, if you're coming to downtown New Orleans, to give yourself an extra 10 minutes because nothing's impassable, but we're going to be losing lanes here and there, and it's kind of all over the place.
Hey, besides the interstate, will high tourist areas have all lights working? And are there any plans to even add more lights to certain areas?
Right now, it's about getting all the lights back on. I think that we've got a total of 75 different lighting projects, and that's not just the French Quarter, it's also the interstate. I was talking to President Chang today, and they're redoing or replacing all of the lights between the airport to the 17th Street Canal on I-10, because that's a parish responsibility.
Nice.
So I don't know that you're going to see new lights, but effectively you're going to see new lights because you're going to see
they'll all be working.
All of them getting replaced.
Hey, thank goodness for GPS, but will basic street signs be replaced at intersections where they're missing?
Yeah, it's stuff like that. Those are the things that we're going around and trying to check out. Absolutely.
And Mike, I don't really care about the road condition. You can't fix every road, but will roadways, like for example, St. Charles Avenue in between Poydras and you want to call it Tivoli Circle, Old Lee Circle. Will there be basic striping on the street so visitors will actually know it's a 2-lane street? There's a lot of streets right now with you got to be a local to know if it's a 2-lane street or not.
Yeah, it's not funny, but
it is funny.
Local knowledge required to know about the lanes. Yeah, there's a lot of restriping work. That obviously is stuff that's fairly easy to do until the restriping work is going forward. So we should actually know the lanes that we're supposed to be involved in, by the Super Bowl. Now, whether people choose to follow those lanes is a different thing, but they should be more explicit.
Not that this would be a spot to do it. I mean, I'm turning off of the Ferret jog at Louisiana where you hook over to LaSalle. Yeah, I turn on to LaSalle right by the new Dewdrop Inn and all that.
Yeah.
In between Louisiana and Washington, there's no stripes on LaSalle. You know, I'll get behind someone. They'll be literally down the middle of the street. I'll give them a little honk I know there are no stripes, but it is 2 lanes here. Anyway, basic striping, I think, Michael, it's like the thing before. I mentioned about the interstate. When it's crappy, people complain. When it's fixed, that's normal. Stripes are just normal. Lack of stripes are what the hell, man? Where am I? What is this?
It's true. Now, one of the things that some people might not be happy about is that it is going to be basically the what's called the clean zone of the NFL. So it'll be the CBD, the French Quarter, the Warehouse District, some additional streets like St. Charles, and the roads getting in from the airports. But it's not going to be the whole city. It's just the nature of the Super Bowl. It's a site-specific event.
Yep.
And, I don't have a good answer for that. It kind of is what it is.
Oh, no, wait. When the Pope came, Michael, 30 years ago, Carrollton Avenue from the interstate exit to Walmsley to the Notre Dame Seminary, palm trees planted. The street was redone, restriped, neutral ground grass planted. Right after Walmsley, man, it was right back to what it was. You go under the little dip, you're at 2-lane heading towards the lake, how it used to be. But that stretch where the Pope drove from the interstate exit on Carrollton to the Notre Dame Seminary, it was perfecto, man.
Yeah.
What can I say? Hey, will weeds and graffiti be removed? Will trash and litter be non-existent?
Yeah, all that stuff is being attacked, but it's also something that we know is continual. So part of the issue with doing this, Corey, is about timing, because there's some things you got to start and do now. There's other things, particularly things like graffiti and trash. You got to make sure you're hitting it, the month before. Right? It's going to come back. So there's a timing issue, as well.
But also to maybe it's an opportunity we can change the mentality of the littering citizens of our metro area and, get that message out. So when it is time to really get it clean, it won't be as filthy as it is right now.
Yeah. Well, these things, I think, by cleaning up the city, you do kind of do a reset and change, kind of expectations and momentum. And so hopefully we'll get some of that as well.
We need to hire the Nevilles, the Baptiste, somebody, the Andrews, and write some song about you're a piece of crap if you litter in New Orleans. And have a nice, a good song. All right, you ready for a quirky one before we let you go, Michael?
Do it.
How about, this is a strange one. How about consolidation of that piping ornamentation on the interstate from the 60s? I think there's some areas where the end of a roadway that has it, you could just remove all those pipings and the little things that hold the pipes in place. And then you could consolidate them. So there's no pipes missing or a pipe unhooked hanging down, or the pipes are kind of crappy to begin with. And they kind of yell, hey, this interstate's from 1968 or something. But, the fact that there's so many missing and falling over and just looks like crap, is there any way to consolidate all that? And not one single pipe on the interstate railing is hanging down or,
Well, there is one. I mean, you know what, Corey? Send me a snapshot of that. And
okay, I will. I will.
You know, as crazy as that is, that's the kind of thing that they're working on right now. Send me that. I'd love to see if we can
I will.
That kind of stuff matters.
Yeah, it does. And I don't think you want to go buy new piping. You just want to get rid of some in some spots that's not really noticeable and consolidate it in the areas where it is noticeable, just so it cleans up. The other thing, Michael, can we have the world send over the entire world supply of power washers?
There's going to be a lot of power washing going on. That's easy to do.
Yep.
It takes the power washers and, gets that muck and grime off.
Yep.
So no, absolutely.
No, I'm not. This is a private thing. Like Gail Benson's, New Orleans Center parking garage from the I-10. It's got like the black dirt on it instead of that whatever peach pastel color. Needs to be power washed, maybe repainted. No, I love that. I love the mural idea, all that stuff, Michael. Hey, any final thoughts till we revisited all of this on our usual Friday visit?
If anybody has projects or questions about the Super Bowl, have them email you or me, mhecht@gnoinc.org, and we can get on it. We're trying to also kind of crowdsource the information. So please don't be shy. Send us your favorite pothole or favorite sidewalk crack.
Yeah.
So we can add it to our list.
That's a brilliant idea. Anything that you think outsiders would look at and go, this is terrible, and especially if you know it's in a high tourist visibility area, let people know. Let us know. That's great, Michael. All right, brother. Excellent work. I'm agreeing with the mayor. I love the mayor's line. Summer a Super Bowl. I love the governor with the crime and public works project, safest city in the country come February. I love it.
Let's roll, brother. Move them chains.
Exactly. First down. Michael Hecht, always a pleasure.
Thank you, KJ.
That's Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. He'll be back Friday. We'll talk more about this. Yeah, the governor, the mayor, Michael Hecht, the governor's point man for the Super Bowl, all meeting today. I love this because it's 8 months out. We needed like the Enola Gay flying, the Bombay doors opening, and a bomb dropped in a good way. Hey, let's go, people. Snap out of it. Sense of urgency. We got a Super Bowl in 8 months. And we're not some brand new city like Nashville or Austin, where cleanup can take 6 weeks. Now, we're a centuries-old city with lots of infrastructure problems. The cleanup's going to take months. 6+ months, not 6 weeks. So that's good that the mayor, the governor's point man, all meeting and talking about it. Everybody on the same page. I like the mayor's line, summer a Super Bowl. Let's grind for the next 100 days. Hey, Latrim, a culture of innovation. Every Friday when Michael Hecht joins us, that segment's brought to you by Latrim. Latrim is hiring because all Latrim does is grow worldwide. It's an incredible story. Not making any of this up. New Orleans born, based, and bred, a major global manufacturing giant. Shrimp peeling machine, the industry standard around the world. All plastic modular conveyor belts, the industry standard around the world. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Anheuser-Busch, Mercedes-Benz, Kia, Ford, wherever conveyor belts are used, it's an Intralox belt from Latrim. Lapierre stair, the alternating tread stair. Hundreds and hundreds of patents from this incredible company. Under the UEP Long Bridge, they've expanded across Jefferson Highway over by Distributors Row. It's about 100 acres now that Latrim takes up in Elmwood. 100 acres. About 1,400 employees. They're also on the North Shore on I-12, a few hundred employees there. And they're hiring at both facilities right now. And it's not like 2 or 3 job openings. It's dozens and dozens and dozens of job openings. For a full listing of positions available, go to Latrim.com. Latrim is spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. No AC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. No AC.com, your cool spot.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon in the Crescent City. A little hot out there. You know the drill. If you ever need AC help, NOLAAC.com. If your AC's not working right, NOLAAC.com. Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys, total maintenance. They'll take care of you. NOLAAC.com. Boy, I talk the talk and I walk the walk. What can I say? I picked up Lebanon's Cafe yesterday for lunch. Yesterday it was Lebanon's Cafe, chicken shawarma, fried football kibbe, some tabbouleh. Outstanding. Today, Trey Yen in Mandeville. I was on the North Shore. Beelining back across the causeway. I'm like, man, before I get to the causeway, why don't I fire in a good to-go order from Trey Yen? Hot pepper chicken, about $12. What you'd spend at Burger King. Gourmet Chinese cuisine. Chinese food would probably be better, generally speaking, than fast food any day of the week, right? This isn't Chinese food, some regular Chinese food, takey-outy. This is Trey Yen in Mandeville, one of the finest Chinese restaurants in America, literally. Chinese cuisine, critically acclaimed, nationally recognized, right in our backyard. Trey Yen in Mandeville. Yummy. Those lunch specials are ridiculous. Tuesday through Friday, 10, 11, $12, about 20 different ones to choose from. If you're an office manager and you need to get like 5 people lunch, 10 people lunch, 100 people lunch, forget about the Chick-fil-A nugget tray or crap from Subway. Are you kidding me?
Fast food, really? Fast food prices, Trey Yen gourmet Chinese cuisine lunch specials. You can't beat it. Can't beat it. Hey, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed a lot. Piper Hutchinson joined us from the Louisiana Illuminator talking about Gov Landry, the legislative session. So much going on. You know, John Wooden said it best. Don't let activity, confuse you that it's accomplishment, that it's achievement. Let me get the exact quote because I'm butchering it, but that is essentially it. Where's that John Wooden quote? Never mistake activity for achievement. Never mistake activity for achievement. A lot of activity. The laundry list is long. Permitless concealed carry. Troop N in New Orleans. 10 Commandments. The DEQ head, the Wildlife and Fisheries head, the Natural Resources head, all people that have no expertise in the least bit on what they're in charge of. Some the opposite. Natural Resources, an oil guy, not good. 25-foot police buffer, just political nonsense. That law already exists. Gator education vouchers, taking the public school money, letting families choose private school. Social studies standard that the state implemented is a joke, just wacky, right-wing, insane propaganda. No conservative Republican would want this for their kids. It's crazy. Abortion pill, a controlled substance, deregulating insurance, ethics board appointees, public records, constitutional convention, state troopers going to Texas, don't say gay. A lot accomplished, achieved, a lot of laws passed. Will it lead to something positive? Will it change New Orleans and Louisiana for the better? That's the big key. That's the big question. Or is it what John Wooden says? Never mistake activity for achievement. The mayor, the governor, meeting today. Press conference, Super Bowl a little over 8 months away. The summer of Super Bowl is what the mayor says. I like that. The governor says New Orleans will be the safest city in the country come February. I like that. Yeah, Corey Johnson saying he likes what the mayor and governor are saying. Holy smokes. Major police presence at the parish line earlier today. Around 3 o'clock, apparently some fugitive. It was a lot of folks, like at least 15 or 20 police cruisers, at least 20 or 30 cops. Claiborne, right by the parish line, the Holly Grove neighborhood. Yeah, apparently there was some criminal. The NOD makes the arrest in search of the suspect, so that suspect has been caught. A perimeter was established. That's to say the least. Claiborne to like almost Earhart. Claiborne a few blocks in, down like Mistletoe, the street right along the parish line, and maybe all the way to like Holly Grove Street. So definitely a big perimeter. Yeah, it was suspects. SUV, no license plate. Good thing is the criminals have been caught. That's all that's important. Hey, Baton Rouge, Helm Paint and Decorating has 4 locations, has high-quality Benjamin Moore paints, has free 2-hour delivery. Sounds familiar to us down here in New Orleans because for over 55 years, Helm Paint and Decorating, 7 New Orleans locations, high-quality Benjamin Moore products, free 2-hour delivery. Baton Rouge, Highland Road, Perkins Road, Jones Creek Road, Choctaw, 4 Metro Baton Rouge Helm Paint and Decorating locations. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, and now when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, do it once, do it right. They will steer you in the right direction, Capital City. Helm Paint and Decorating.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now? Perfect wind down spot, great place to get dinner, flat screen TVs. You can check out NBA Finals starting tomorrow night. The NBA playoffs. Are you kidding me? Started in mid-April, started almost 2 months ago. It's the best postseason in pro sports, best postseason in sports, period, maybe. 8 weeks of NBA playoffs, a true second season. A lot of folks been checking out the NBA playoffs over at Katie's. Premier League Soccer, Major League Baseball, whatever you want to watch on the flat screens. They got you covered at Katie's. But the important thing is big portions, a true taste of New Orleans, old school New Orleans specialties from po' boys to pizza, seafood specialties. Katie's, as New Orleans as it gets, Iberville, corner Talamacas. Why aren't you at Katie's right now? The mayor, the governor meeting today. This is a good thing. 8 months out, 8 months in a week or so till Super Bowl 59 here in New Orleans. The mayor, I like what she said. Summer of Super Bowl. Going to get a lot done in the next 100 days. I hope so. We need that ants on a sugar cube mentality. Groups of workers all over the city just grinding every day, straight through till February, especially during the summer, the kind of slow time, even though it's hot as hell. I love what the governor said today. New Orleans will be the safest city in the country come February. Who can be against that? And then mention getting a lot of public works projects done. Boy, we need that too. Yeah, you're right. Thank God for the Super Bowl. You know who's glad the Super Bowl's coming? This guy. What's that, Blue Boy? It's like when the Pope came or any other Super Bowl or major event, we clean up the city. We got to put our best foot forward. What else? In like the past where the Super Bowl comes every 4 or 5 years, it's more like every 10, 12, 15 years. Really got to take advantage. Blue
boy, you're a genius. They put you on that Super Bowl committee. Hey, New Orleans, see you tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Wide open Wednesday. Be there.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.